Good afternoon. This is the Green Room. I'm Caitlin Matson. Joining me in the Green Room as they prepare for this weekend's concert, Maestro Yaniv Segal from the Salina Symphony. On this concert, music by contemporary living composer Michael Dougherty. Also, we have Samuel Barber's Adagio for strings and On the Trail. Not On the Trail. On the Trail's a movement from the Grand Canyon Suite by Verde Grofe. Hello, Yaniv. How are you?
Good morning. Great, thank you. Great to be back.
Let's start right off with this flute concerto, which is fascinating to read up about. It is kind of a dedication to the Trail of Tears.
Yeah, so Michael Dougherty is one of our leading American composers. He's a faculty member at the University of Michigan, where I've met him. We've performed a lot of his music there. He is a multiple Grammy Award winner, and his vernacular is, of course, his own, but it's also a take on American ideas and Americana. He has pieces like Route 66, Metropolis Symphony. He's even got a piece that I've performed called Dead Elvis, which is a lot of fun. This one is a flute concerto called Trail of Tears, as you said, and it takes the inspiration, or as a starting point, the forced migration westward of the Cherokee Native Americans in the, oh gosh, when was that? Was that the 1800s, like
The
1830s or so?
1830s.
Yeah. So the piece is inspired by that and is also a tribute to what the Native Americans endured as they were losing their homelands.
In the program notes, the composer Michael Dougherty writes that it is a musical journey into how the human spirit discovers ways to deal with upheaval, adversity, and adapting to a new
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah, so that, it has some of the horror and darkness, but one thing that humanity has always seemed to do is to look for hope and bright spots even among a disaster. So I think that he embodies that in this concerto as you get to the last movement, which is like a dance movement, really, to celebrate important ceremonies of the Native American people, even as they're facing these ordeals.
How many movements are there?
There are three movements, and the first is perhaps the most lengthy and includes towards the end the darkest section, which is supposed to represent the actual Trail of Tears. The second movement is called Incantation, and it is really, what should I say, a meditation, a reflection as we undergo this passage or this journey. And then the third movement, as I said, is called Sundance, which is a dance that was actually banned by the United States government at the time. They did not allow the natives to perform their ceremonies for a long time. So there's a lot of meaning in this piece. And I would also say that while it is, yes, it has this serious undertone, it is a wonderful, wonderful piece. The writing for flute is so idiomatic, and what Michael asks of the flute are things that we expect, the normal notes, and then also things like breath tones or clicks or things that are more like folk instrument like than you think of when you think of a classical flute. Michael's writing is very wonderful for percussion and in terms of rhythmic ingenuity. So it's a very engrossing work. And when I was conversing with Daniel about a year ago about repertoire to choose, and he suggested this piece, and I was playing it at home on a stereo set, and one of my sons walked in and he just listened for just a few seconds. He was like, "What is this piece? It's so awesome." So even if you don't know the underlying drama, it is a beautiful and effective concerto.
And the soloist Daniel Velasco teaches at KU.
Yes, so Daniel and I overlapped also at Michigan when we were studying for our grad degrees. and we kept loosely in touch. And then when I got this job, I reached out to him because I knew he was working here, and I invited him to be our soloist. So he's amazing, and it's going to be a really treat to have him here.
The composer Michael Dougherty is actually going to be in town for this performance, and also is going to give a master class at K-State. Is that correct?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, Michael is originally from the Midwest. He's from Iowa, and so he's really happy to be able to return to kind of his root area geographically, and also to take advantage of the fact that we're reaching out to other universities and schools around here so that they can also benefit from his expertise. So we'll go there, and for composition students, it's a treat to be able to present their music or to hear Michael talk about his process and learn from somebody as renowned as he is.
There's a lot more to talk about this concert, but we're going to take a short break and listen to part of the concert. You know, a lot of the themes you're presenting to your audience this weekend, they are a bit heavy. You know, the Trail of Tears, and your concert starts out with Samuel Barber's Adagio for strings. We'll talk all about that, but let's listen to one of the more playful moments in the concert from the Grand Canyon Suite. This is On the Trail, and we'll be back to talk more with Maestro Yaniv Segal. The Salina Symphony performs their next concert, Passage, this Sunday, November the 5th at 4 o'clock in the Stiefel Theater. And for more information and tickets, you can go to salinasymphony.org. Maestro Yaniv Segal joins me in the green room. Yaniv, that was On the Trail from the Grand Canyon Suite. That closes out the concert, and you have a very special kind of visual feast for the audience, don't you?
Yep. So this piece, the Grand Canyon Suite, is really a set of tableaus, oral tableaus from what the composer remembered from visiting the Grand Canyon. In fact, he didn't even write it when he was anywhere near there. He wrote it from Wisconsin, but the imagery of the Grand Canyon is so epic that he was inspired to write this piece.
Of course.
And so there are 5 scenes. There's sunrise, there's painted desert, there's On the Trail we just listened to, sunset, and cloudburst. And so each one has its own character, its own feeling, its own melodies, and brilliant use of orchestration and colors. And to add on to that, we have projections made by Stephen, I think Lias is his name, where he uses photography that he has, as well as public domain, National Archive stuff, to show us what these scenes look like in historical times, in modern times. And so we're really going to be transported with music and with projections to make a magical second half.
Yes, magical. And Passage starts with something that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And is touched by the Adagio for strings.
So the Adagio for strings is one of these American iconic pieces that or if you don't know the title, you will recognize because of its appearance in some films like, I don't know, Platoon. Or in famous memorial services like for FDR. So it's associated with some kind of journey, and I think to think of it only as funereal takes away from the beauty of the music, because it's not just that. It's about reflection, and again, this is why this concert is called Passage. It's all about some kind of journey, whether that is physical, like in going to visit the Grand Canyon on your maybe with your family and your cross-country road trip, or physical and spiritual, as what happens in Trail of Tears. And so this opener allows us to get into that reflective spirit and think about the journeys we have to get us to where we are.
Yes, and of course, the very nature of music is subjective, and you can make it whatever you need it to be.
Yeah.
For one person, they'll be sitting there listening to the Adagio for strings, memorializing somebody from, in their heart that they've lost. For the next person, it might set them up for a really beautiful peaceful, meditative afternoon.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and that's why live music is so wonderful, and you get to have that experience.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say that everyone would probably agree about the Adagio, I don't know anybody who will ever say that's not a beautiful piece. You know,
Yeah.
that's it
It's
is
kind of ugly.
absolutely, yeah, no, you can't say that. No matter it's
Nobody could.
like, even if
It's kind of harsh.
it's not harsh, it's not like, it's none of those things,
Mm-hmm.
and even though it's still, and it's literally just for the string section of the orchestra,
Mm-hmm.
it is never ever boring. It is just constantly moving and taking us to places we don't expect.
This is also a pretty exciting concert because you have such a wide variety of, textures, sounds, experiences, and it's all 20th century music.
Right, yeah. Well, so Michael's piece is from 2010, I think. And the other ones are from about 100 years earlier, around 1930, let's just say. And then if we're going to go with anniversaries, the Trail of Tears was 100 years earlier in 1830. So we have actually some idea of American history over roughly 100-year spans here. And
And
yeah,
how no, go no,
they're all American composers, you
and
know.
how jarring for us to be reminded that this is 2023. 1923 was 100 years ago. So we're talking about, compositions from the 1940s, 1950s. I mean, that's a while ago now.
Yeah. Uh, there's a lot that's happened in Man, there's a lot that seems like it's happening right now, but there's a lot that's happened in the last 100 years. And to
Mhm.
think about 100 years before then as well, what people were going through. If we go back to our first concert in 1920 was just when women got the right to vote. So even that is something that we take for granted today, and it's not been that long.
I know. So long ago, yet not long at all. Not long at all.
So, maybe passage allows us to reflect on those things. I was talking with people about what it means to come to concerts these days and turn off your cell phone and just say, "Hey, I'm here for 2 hours," and create that self-love time to take care of yourselves and feed your spirit.
Right. Passage also meaning the passage of time. Stop time for a couple of hours
Yeah,
and be still. It's
that'll be
the
great.
perfect place to be still in a symphony hall.
Especially when, as you pointed out, with this type of concert, there is literally something that is different about every piece, and they showcase so many highlights of what new music is like, what older music is like, what American music is like, and how many colors you get with a symphony orchestra.
Would you do me a favor and remind us when is the concert? Where is it at? Where do we go for tickets?
Sure, the concert is this Sunday at 4 p.m. at the Stiefel Theater in Salina, Kansas, clearly. Uh, um, and then if you want to come at 3 o'clock, I will be doing a pre-concert talk in the Watson Room together with Michael Doherty.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
yeah, if you want to have some questions for the composer, that would be a great time to show up and ask him about his process. And if you want tickets, please visit our website, salinasymphony.org, or the Stiefel's website. The office opens, gosh, I should know these things, but probably 1 o'clock or so on the day of the concert, or you
Mhm.
can order tickets ahead through our website or Stiefel.
Maestro Yaniv Segal of the Salina Symphony. Have a wonderful concert this Sunday. Spectacular programming. As always, I
Thank you.
love seeing what you come up with and how you tie it all together to be just this one fantastic experience for the audience.
It's great to be able to do that. Thank you so much.